Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Check, 53's Mike. I'm coming for you, son.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Max Crosby in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he's able to get it out of there. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
46-yard line.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 44. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here we go on 4th down. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leaders.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Dak Prescott sacked.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Prescott from the gun. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Mike, get in the weight room.
On first down, it's Little. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's Prescott. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Coverage defensively by Jeff Okuda.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
His own 9-yard line. A 6-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 4.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he is out of bounds all the way up near midfield. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A little over 20 yards there, and in 2 plays, they've now moved the ball over 60 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Complete to Travis Kelce. A gain of 4.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
With the score, Colts 14, Texans nothing.
They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott. And it's complete to Kelce. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Mike 55.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Mike 55. Mike 55. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Prescott. Samuel bringing in the slant. 20. Touchdown, Houston. Deebo Samuel hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What, 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Holding offense.
You blew the whistle.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Fighting through it, he's got space. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Off play action, Wade. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A big play there for Indy. 49 yards. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
53's the mic. 53. 53. Watch the slant.
To try again after the sack. Prescott over the middle, and it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Watch it divide. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
To throw is Prescott. He finds his target, Fuller. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitch.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. Now the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
Yeah, he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 34. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. They'll run with Allen. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. They go play action here on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it and live to fight another down.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game. And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
So don't say nothing.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Prescott to throw it. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott is hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner, because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And some room to work. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hawk 70.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Colts 28, Texans.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
Keep playing hard.
So here are the Colts to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Wade. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
When we draw defenses on the board, we do account for every play. Somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point. Lead now up to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
24-yard line.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
I'm coming.
Here's Prescott. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
55, Mike 55. Hey,
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And to give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
37-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And just shutting him off there. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a 1st. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
12 yards there and a 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. He'll try and run for it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, away.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans back out there and ready to go. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I just say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 45-yard line.
53, check 53.
6 man.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, throw complete right side to Cooks. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks, 55 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
McCann's got it teed up. That'll be taken about a yard deep.
Isaiah Rodgers.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
They'll run on first down. It's Allen. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Exit.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Off play action. Wade. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 14.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28.
Bobby Okereke. Prescott's pass.
And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
And the lead is up to 14. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
49. Texans 35. Rodrigo Blankenship.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic in. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big-time play there for the Texans. 47 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
53, Mike. It's our time. It's our time, guys.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Mike, 53. 3 buzz.
Another try after the first down sack. Prescott over the middle, complete to Samuel.
Complete to Deebo Samuel.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Prescott from the gun on third. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
Now Prescott on 4th down. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to see me.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the Colts 17-yard line.
On the give, this is their fullback. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
3rd down.
giving up nothing today. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check. Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
18, Rattler, 18.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Let's go now. Mustang 19. Bronco 80. Check it, check it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Now a handoff here to his running back. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts add on to their lead. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Check.
Now Prescott. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. After the sack on 1st down, Prescott. And he's going to go down again. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down?
Well, that play...